So this video is going to be about all things Jamboard. First thing I'm going to do is Google Jamboard in the Omnibox, which is of course, oh, it went straight there. Sorry, let me Google it again. Jamboard and delete the rest so I get the actual Jamboard results. Any of these first top two are good, G Suite or I think this one's better, ed.google.com. It'll take you to Jamboard where I'm going to do a sign in. You might have to do a get started. Use your BCPS credentials. If you are challenged for credentials, use your BCPS ones. So I'm going to go ahead and it just signed me in automatically. Okay, so here's the Jamboards I've done before. To make a new one, we're going to hit the plus sign in the bottom right corner. And it's basically an empty space, as the PD is going to talk about. You can set post-it notes. So you can say, draw your favorite kind of dinner, or whatever you want. And have that there. Do save and then cancel because you don't want another one. You can resize things in Jamboard. You can do all these things. Most of that we'll cover in the PD. Did I spell favorite right? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So you can have multiple pages of jams and things. What I want to cover mostly in this, I want to talk about the danger points for Jamboard that get you in trouble the first time you go to use it. First of all, I'm going to give this a name, test, delete me, so I know this isn't one I want to keep. You have background. You can put some texture on the background if you want to. You have a clear frame button here. You can zoom in, zoom out. You have various pens you can draw with. And that's really what the kids will do with touchscreens. Makes a big difference with the touchscreens. You have an eraser. This is your arrow to do selecting and moving. This is your sticky note. This picture button, this add image, is really actually super powerful because one of your choices is Google image search. You can just drag any image from your device. But if you Google image search here, let's say you need a picture of a dog, just press enter. It'll Google image search dogs, and you can choose one and immediately drop it in. So that's very, very useful. One note here, if you want a note to go on top of something, it has to be made later. So in other words, you're laying down these elements, these pieces, the picture, the post-it, you're laying them down as if you're setting cards down on a table. So since I set this card down first, even if I drag it over here, it's just on top so I can see it. When I click off, it goes underneath because this was laid down afterwards. So if you need to move this to the top, most programs have like a send to back option. This doesn't. I choose just duplicate it and then delete the original. So here's my original. Now the duplicate one was made after the dog picture, so it goes on top. So that can come up. So just a note there. So when it comes time to share this Jamboard, this is not the address you want to share. You want to go to the button that says share. But here's a major issue. You need to change who it's going to be shared with. So I don't want to share it directly to people because that'd be crazy. You can do that. What you need to do is you need to make a link. So you need to get the link, but it's restricted. Only people added can open this link. Well, I didn't add anybody. So change the link to Baltimore County Schools. I need to change this link. And here it says, anyone at Baltimore County Schools with the link can view. Well, I need anyone at Baltimore County Schools with the link to be able to be an editor on this so they can draw and they can move things around and all that stuff. So now I can copy the link. Okay, and this gives you you can see more if you press this, or less, I guess. So once you've changed it to anyone at Baltimore County Schools with this link can edit, yes, copy the link. Then you can paste that into your Meets chat. So if I'm in a Meet, I'll go into a Meet right now, just for the fun of it, for the fun of it. It's a great Meet name, for the fun of it. There I am. Join the Meet. And in the chat, pretend there's a ton of people here. I'm going to say, hey, everyone in the class, I'm going to put a Meet in the chat, or a link in the chat for you. I just control V, control on the keyboard V. Let me see if right clicking works to paste. I'm not sure because I always use control V, right click, paste. Works too, send it. Now, I'm going to close my other tab for the meet. So kids have to be able to manage multiple tabs. Okay, they have to be able to have the top of the screen, their meet, and over here, they're going to have the Jamboard. So I'm going to press this link, and all the kids, the same thing's going to happen for the kids. It's going to open in a new window. They're still going to hear you, but they're not going to see you in the meet, but they'll hear you. So you can now have the kids watch the Jamboard so that everyone in the class can see it. Now, you just made a link so everyone in the class can edit it too. You're going to have a very difficult time telling if someone just takes the pencil and messes it all up or just clears the whole frame and just ruins your lesson. You're not going to know who did that. So that is definitely a drawback to Jamboard in the quick, easy way. I mean, you can designate one user to have access to it. So you're going to say, okay, who wants to, draw their favorite kind of dinner for us? So then you go back to your meet and you see who's raising their hand and you say, oh, okay, Edmund, go ahead. And Edmund is then going to follow your directions and do the drawing. And everyone's going to watch. Then you can say, thank you, Edmund. Okay, who wants to now, add on to or modify or comment on or add a sticky note to whatever. And then you switch back to your meet and you say, oh, okay, Clara, go ahead. And then Clara does her part and everyone's watching. So it's like a chalkboard. You're inviting a kid up to the chalkboard to do a manipulation. Then you're inviting someone else to add to that and that kind of thing. So you can project the Jamboard into the meet. I probably wouldn't do that because I want the kids all going to the Jamboard. That way you don't have some of the kids on the actual Jamboard on their screens and some of the kids are just watching it on the meet. Because then if you say, Clara, go add to whatever, and Clara tries to draw on the Jamboard here, she can't. Then you'd have to explain, click the tab. So you might want to have all the kids tabbing over. When they're done, you just use the X, close out the Jamboard, and you're done. Now, if you want to preserve what they did so they can't come back and mess with it, you can then change the share settings. So you can switch these partway through and then lock the kids out. Now, if you really were struggling with a kid messing with it, you can put Clara in here, but you've got to know Clara's, if it's CLA 0465 or whatever, she will pop up. Like I can find, share, I can designate, let's see, I'll designate, let me see if I know anybody. I do. No, Jay Sloan's not popping up. So let me do, just take one of these kids here, AMC 318. So AMC 318 is an editor, and I can add another kid on here, but you've got another usernames, which is crazy because you probably won't. And then before you would do that, of course, you would take the link and you would change the link status as viewer. Okay, so now I've changed the link status so everyone in BCPS is a viewer, except for, go back, except for, I didn't say save it, except for AMC 318 is an editor, and I don't want the notification. I can maybe just do that. Okay, so AMC can edit it. So, if you had to, you could do that on the fly, but I don't think that's really practical for the most part. Okay, so here's your Jamboard. You've shared it with the students. You've had them interact with it and come back. You can go to another screen. So now here's screen 2 of the Jamboard. Unfortunately, I believe I've heard the max is 20. So I'm going to go out and find that out. Yep, 20 is all you can have. And that's kind of a problem because you have more than 20 students. So you could put up a screen that says, I have math problems on here. You have say math problems written out here. You want kids to work on them with their touch screen or their mouse drawing, which is much more difficult. So if the kids have a touch screen, they're in much better shape. You want Clara to take slide 1 and Jack to take slide 2 and to take slide 3, and then the kids would come to the Jamboard, go to the correct number. You'd have the list of numbers posted here so they don't have to remember which one they are. And they would do that problem, and then you could cycle through it with everybody. So then you might call everyone back to the meet, project the Jamboard so that you can show them, here's Clara's work, let's see how she solved it. Here's so-and-so's work, let's see how they solved it. Here's so-and-so's work, let's talk about how they solved it. But that's going to tap out at 20. So, if you have 25 kids, that's 5 kids who have some other job or responsibility during that time. I don't know. And then the other major problem issue with Jamboard is when you make a beautiful, perfect Jamboard, like I made this one for our PD. If I share this Jamboard out to everybody and everyone works on it, what am I going to do for my next class? What am I going to do if it gets messed up? So it's not here, unfortunately, but when you're in the Jamboard, you can go up to the 3 dot next to the share and you can make a copy. Make a copy of the Jamboard so that you're using the copy with your class in case it gets messed up, in case you want to use it with another class. Always keep a clean version, then you can make your copy. And that is pretty much the essentials of the Jamboard. And if you have any questions, let me know, and hope to see you all in the real world sometime later. Thanks.